Hey everybody, I'm Jim Sinacropi. Welcome to FLX Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com on May 11th, 2021. I'm live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio. Sydney's not here today, so I'll be manning the show solo, but I do have a guest, Michael Bentley, co-founder and committee member for Inclusion in Motion. We're going to talk about inclusive playgrounds. We're going to talk about a virtual 5K event coming up, and I think you'll find it pretty interesting. It'll be the first of its kind in the nation, the playground that we're trying to, the initiative to raise funds for. So today's show brought to you by DA Liquor in Seneca Falls. Are you ready for warmer weather in the Finger Lakes? They sure are at DA Liquor in Seneca Falls. Stop in today and find your new summertime favorites like Adult Freeze Pops, a great grown-up treat, Dogfish Head prepared cocktails, Cali Rose from Snoop Dogg. There's a new tropical Bacardi flavor in stock, and they have something for everyone at DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. So glad you could be with us and happy to introduce our guest today, Michael Bentley. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the invite. Look forward to it.
And give our viewers a little a background. You're a co-founder of Inclusion in Motion. Just tell me a little bit in general about what that is.
So Inclusion in Motion was brought about by, my wife and I were trying to help a family in another state build an all-inclusive playground that they had started a foundation for out in Colorado. And we knew some folks in Denver that we could network with, and so we joined the two together, the folks that we knew and the folks from the playground. And we were challenged back in October of 2017 to have our own. Said it's great to help somebody else, but why not here? And that's really what it started from, was why not here? And so we launched an initiative 3 days later. MJ, our son's physical therapist, is the one that created the challenge in October of 17. And so today we have Inclusion in Motion, which is a group of community members that have joined together for a great cause of bringing play for all to Western New York. And it's truly about bringing play, no matter your ability to be able to play together side by side in parallel play.
And so what would that look like in terms of a playground scenario?
So it's our website is www.dreambiginclusion.org, and you'll find more details there. It's a playground for everyone to play, and we sort of live by the motto, no one left on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. So if you have a child or a grandchild that someone is assisted by a device for mobility, whether it be the child or the grandparent or the mother or the father, that now in Western New York they'll be able to play together. It is a 20,000 square foot play facility, health and wellness facility, that everyone can play together, which is really what shapes us all, is play. And there's no stairs. There is a dual passway of accommodation for if I'm taking MJ up the ramp and you're coming down with your child or your grandchild, or you have a caretaker there with a child or an adult, mm-hmm. that they can easily pass one another and be able to access every single piece of equipment that's on the playground. It has 3 zip lines, 3 zip bays for everyone. Mm-hmm. It has slides that you can go to 3 family members at a time down the slides. There's nothing like that in Western New York. It has rubberized coating surfacing for ease of access, because of those of us that use wheelchair devices or mobility devices. We know that they do not do well in mulch, which is on most playgrounds that are deemed to be accessible.
So is there a location picked out already? Is there plans drawn up?
So it's the plans are finalized. The University at Buffalo, the IDEA Center, will be the first ISUD certified playground in the nation, and ISUD is Innovative Solutions for Universal Design. It will be the first of its kind that is certified by the certification holder at UB, which is the IDEA Center. And IDEA means Inclusive Design and Environmental Access. And so it will be, the plans are, obviously they're finalized. The park will be on Outhouse Road in Canandaigua behind the Civic Center, behind Happiness House. We just recently broke ground last Tuesday, May the 4th, a monumental day, 3 years in the making. We have a $995,000 price tag. Just when I was walking in today, we got another couple $1,000 that were donated since last week, so it brings our total to $663,188. So
wow, that's pretty great.
It's the community's support has been unbelievable. We live in a very giving community, but we still got a little bit of work to do.
So, yeah, that's got to be pretty encouraging. You're well over halfway to the goal, and you've broken ground. Talk a little bit about the process of turning this into a reality from something that, at first, that maybe you've never even heard of it, and what this type of concept for a playground. So take us from like the beginning to how you became aware, and then kind of the first steps that made you kind of mobilize, and then when you realize we can do this.
Well, Jim, I don't know if we have that much time, but this goes back before the playground. So my wife Nancy was driving downtown Canandaigua, and those of you that are familiar with Canandaigua know that at Christmas time there's always a Santa's house in Canandaigua. And she was driving by, and she looked, and she said, "There's no accessibility into that, the Santa's house." So that's where it started. And she is a huge advocate for and voice for people that necessarily don't have one, or maybe their voice is not heard.
Right.
She's a great advocate. And so it started there. And several years later, there were some connections made, and there was an accessible ramp that was put on by the city of Canandaigua. And then in 2017, we have our son MJ has a rare chromosome disorder called Pallister-Killian syndrome. And when he was diagnosed, there were under 250 cases in the world.
Wow.
And it affects the neurological system. It's mosaicism syndrome. And so we met a family from out west, and they had created a foundation that their daughter has the same syndrome as MJ. And so we knew some folks in Colorado that said maybe we can get you some publicity. And so that's the avenue that we took. And then the challenge was made by our son's physical therapist. And so the challenge became a reality. 3 days later, there were a few community members that we talked to about it. And within 24 hours, there were pamphlets and articles and news clippings that were given to us and said, here's some research we've done for you in the last 24 hours. Let's get this in motion. And so sort of the name is Sonia Smith is also the co-founder per se with myself and my wife of Inclusion in Motion. So in motion would be from getting it in motion. Inclusion is for everybody because inclusion is a choice. We have a choice to include. And today we have that obstacle of those that of different abilities, or their abilities might be different than ours, that we can play together. There's no playground that we can take our son to, and we've been to many, that is accessible and that we can play together. So we tossed around the idea. We got plans. We contacted equipment providers, designers, etc. Within the next month. We got plans in place by March of 2018 tried to find a spot, worked with the town of Canandaigua. There were several spots that were offered up. None of those were feasible and conducive to what we wanted to do.
Right.
And so we continued to look, and then we partnered back with the town of Canandaigua. We kept in constant contact with them. And then there was another spot that was offered up, which is where we're going today. And I will say that the town of Canandaigua has been instrumental in our success. Kiwanis of Canandaigua has been very instrumental. Their mission is to serve the children of the world, and this is broadening a little bit beyond just the children because it's for all.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we got to where we are today. We've been through probably 11 or 12 designs to get it right, to get the universal design certification from at UB, the IDEA Center at UB. And so that's how we are where we are today. It's been a lot of hours. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I don't mean that, no pun intended there, because there's been a lot of tears shed during this process, because it's going to have a huge impact on the emotional and social impact in our communities for once everybody that will be able to play together side by side.
And perhaps a model for others to replicate.
We hope.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic, and to raise $663,000 is pretty significant. We'll talk about the Power Play 5K event coming up here, but if anybody wants to contribute or get involved, what would be the best way?
Well, there's many ways you can get involved. It's www.dreambiginclusion.org. There is a place on there to donate. It is a tax-deductible donation. It goes to FLX, which is held by Canandaigua National Bank. It stands for Finger Lakes Area Community Endowment, and then Inclusion in Motion. They handle all of the funds for the playground. And then if you want to get involved and build, we do have a build date. Excited to announce that we finalized it after the news showing last week, August the 23rd. Through the 29th of 2021, pending that the funds are raised, and we believe that they will be. We've been contacted since the groundbreaking by several donors that want to get involved. So we're very confident that the funds will be raised. All of the plans are on our website as well. And there's also a place that you can sign up to come join, help us build. We're going to be a 5 or 6 day build. It is the largest of its kind that the playground provider of the equipment, Landscape Structures, out of East Amherst. It's the largest one they will do to date. So it's going to be a pretty magnificent event when we say let's play.
So August 23rd to 29th would be the build. Does that mean that if all goes well on the 30th, we're open for business? And
you're probably going to look about the first week of September, because the equipment has to go in, and it's a 5 to 6 day process. And then the rubberized pour in place, which is it's 4 to 6 inches of matting of rubber. That's pretty much fall resistant, that braces a fall. That has to be poured in place, and it has to dry and cure before it can be played on. So we're looking at the first week of September.
So, trying to envision this, the thing that's perhaps most appealing is that all kids who are at the site playing, they're not going to notice this is a special playground. It's just a playground, but the way that it's built, it's just so accessible that the kids can play together without limitations of not being able to go up those steps. Or is that kind of am I correct in thinking of it that way?
I'll share a story with you,
okay,
and I'm going to answer your question in a two-facet part. So it's a place for everybody, and we have a committee member, and last week, the several schools are involved that are involved in the Power of Play, which I know we're going to talk about. And Canandaigua City School District has been a huge supporter of getting what it is out to the children in the school and the kids in the school and the staff. There's several staff members that are going to be participating in the Power of Play 5K, as well as Marcus Whitman, Victor, those schools in Ontario County. So there's one of our committee members that picked up their 6-year-old last week. And I'm going to do my best to do this as verbatim as I can.
Okay.
And said, "Hey, Mom, I want to go to the playground." And the mom said, "Which one?" And the child said, "The new one." And she was thinking, "New one? There's no new ones." He says, "You know, the one where everybody can play." Mm-hmm. And that's from a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
That it's getting to where we all can play together. And that's the most important piece is it's no matter your ability. If you are able-bodied as you and I are today, we're not guaranteed that right tomorrow. And if you are not able-bodied and you're assisted by a device, whether it be a walker or a wheelchair or a scooter, and it's from 18 months to 99 years or whatever your age may be, you'll be able to exercise the right of play, which is one thing that we all should be granted.
And I think, it's 2021 now. It seems like there's still so much of the world that's inaccessible. So, this project, I just see this project as being something that, sure, it's going to be great for our community, but think about when it's in place and successful, what a model it can serve for, other areas in the country or throughout the world. When someone else has the same type of motivation or mission to do what you and Inclusion in Motion have done, they'll have this to look at and say, look what they did in Canandaigua. So I think that's pretty cool too. It's going to be huge for Canandaigua and the surrounding areas in Western New York, but also could end up being bigger than that. So first of all, congratulations on the progress you made. I know it's been about 3 years now, but to have a build date and to have raised the funds, that's pretty impressive. So it's got to feel good. Everybody's got to feel pretty good. But how's MJ feel about it?
MJ is he's excited. He just came out of a 7-week recovery of a hip surgery. But I would be remiss if I didn't. The committee that we have with Sonia Smith, my wife Nancy, Pam Madding of Kiwanis, those three individuals have been the catalyst and driving force behind this project. Then we've got some members that have joined us in the last 6, 8, 9, 12 months. Heather Holman, Heather Manns, Holly Chapel's been with us from the beginning, a huge supporter. Lance Burgess, he's been a very instrumental supporter. And I'm going to forget somebody. Teresa Cater just joined us. Roy Allen. And I know I just forgot somebody in there.
That's the problem when you name names; it's impossible. So no offense to anybody.
They have been very, very instrumental. And Ruth Van Gorder, that's the other one. I'm sorry. So just a great group of community members for a great cause, and each of us are impacted differently. Some of us have children with different abilities. Because that's one thing we don't use is the word disability, because as you and I were discussing earlier, we all have a disability of some sort, because there's things that you can do that I can't. And right. So it's going to be monumental. It's going to be great for our community, and hopefully accessibility and universal design are two different things. And to go back to a question you answered earlier, I don't think I answered, was no, you will not be able to tell the difference with the naked eye.
Right.
Where there might be steps, there might be a ramp that takes you up versus steps. So no matter your accessibility avenue, that you can access the same equipment together.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. It's there is a segregation that exists in the world for people with those types of physical challenges in almost every aspect of life, I would imagine. And it seems like this is a place where that doesn't exist, won't exist.
Well, that's why we say it's a place for everybody, no matter your capabilities or your abilities. It's a place where everybody, we can have parallel play. We can play side by side. Because today, just in many of your schools that you have a child that is assisted by a wheelchair device, that they might be in a different classroom. Sure. We're starting to get the integration of those children with different abilities into genetic classrooms, which is a huge step in society in general, because the emotional and social impact. I mean, right. It eliminates bullying if you have kids that are playing side by side, and it removes that stare moment that we all have experienced in some form or fashion when we're out in public. And MJ makes a noise because MJ is nonverbal, but he communicates with us. Yeah. And so it removes that, because it creates that social impact of everybody learning everybody's abilities.
Well, that's fantastic. And so we've mentioned virtual 5K coming up, a Power of Play 5K. Let everybody know a little bit about that and how they can participate. Absolutely.
So if you don't know, May the 16th is Take Your Parents to the Playground Day. It's the National Take Your Parents to the Playground Day. And so what we have done, Holly Chapel did some research and found that out. So we said, what a better way to launch our virtual 5K with COVID and social distancing. So we've launched the powerofplay5k.com, and it starts the 16th. We will have a kickoff call via Zoom for those that want to join and participate. The instructions are on the powerofplay5k.com. If you want to join, we've already ordered the shirts, so the shirts and bibs, the cutoff for that was May the 2nd. Those have been picked up and will be delivered via mail or in-person pickup this Saturday in Canandaigua, those that were ordered and requested mail. But come join us. We won't be able to get you a shirt, but come join us in the Power of Play 5K, where every single registration goes to the build of the playground. We have no one that is on our committee that's paid. It's all volunteer work. So the folks that I named earlier have put thousands of hours in over the last 3 years to bring this dream to reality. So come join us. We would love to have you, and then especially the first week of September when it's time to build and play.
So that's powerofplay5k.com. Virtual, as we're still kind of getting back to having live events. Will that be something that you might continue in the future?
We probably will, and it's because we've had several questions come in through our website, and we're very responsive. We have several people that manage the website, again, volunteer. So, what will you do with the donations that are after the fact if you raise too much money? Well, we never can raise too much money. So what we're going to do is any funds that come in afterwards, and we will continue. It's a topic of conversation with the committee of doing one next year as well. We've got 263 as of yesterday registrants. We have our presenting sponsor of Floyd Rayburn Masonry. That was our presenting sponsor, Admar Kawanis. Riley's Warriors. If you don't know who Riley's Warriors is, I would challenge you to look it up. Beautiful story, beautiful family. And then we will take funds that we raise afterwards and beyond, and we will donate that money to make all parks in our community more accessible and more friendly for everybody to be able to play.
Well, like I say, it's pretty inspiring to see the progress that you've made, and I just get this feeling talking to you that this will end up being bigger than just this one project. I think it'll live beyond that. I think it'll inspire other people, and we could be back here talking about this in a few years, and there might be other projects throughout the state or country where this is used as a model. It's really something unique and important, and so just congratulations to you and your team, and best of luck for the home stretch here.
Thanks for your time, and come join us in the 5K.
Well, I'm going to let our viewers know what to expect for the weekend, which finally it looks like we have some decent weather on tap, some more seasonal weather. Friday, just a slight chance of rain, and I mean slight, just a passing shower after 2 p.m. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high near 66. Friday night, mostly cloudy with a low down around 44. Then on Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 69. So that sounds like a great day. And then Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 70. Back to work on Monday, staying partly sunny with a high near 70. So this is the kind of forecast that we've been waiting for the past few weeks. We got a taste of it in late March and early April, and then it kind of hasn't been so great the past few weeks. So it should be a great weekend in the Finger Lakes. I want to thank you again, Michael, for coming in and sharing this project with us. 2 websites that you need to visit: dreambiginclusion.org and Power of Play 5K. And then we'll give you updates on fingerlakes1.com leading up to that, hopefully that August 23rd through 29th week of where the playground's built. And yeah, this won't be the last that we hear for you. This is certainly inspiring and a positive project that I'm just impressed with the progress you guys have made over 3 years. So congratulations.
Thanks for your time.
So we will be back next Wednesday with another edition of FLX Weekly for FingerLakes1.com. I'm Jim Sinacropi. Hope everybody has a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes.